Any real predictions here? Let me hear your guys's.
Yeah, before we throw predictions out, I want to say I've seen some stuff online about this being a bad finals.
No.
I don't like that. I think
they don't know ball.
Yeah,
they don't know. They don't know. This is gonna be so entertaining.
I think this is like a really fun matchup because these are two similar teams. You know, like they're both very athletic. They're both very young, and it goes to show again the parity in the current landscape of the NBA that either one of SGA or Tyrese Haliburton are gonna get their first championship ring, and it should give us here in Cleveland as Cavs fans a little bit of hope that maybe at some point we can get out of round 2 and be in the NBA Finals. So I don't think people should be upset about this matchup. I know the networks probably would have loved to have the New York Knicks make it through, but I like OKC in this. I know it's chalky. I would love to be hot take guy and tell you that I think it's going to be Indy, but I do like Oklahoma City in probably like 5 games.
I would say my only hot take for this series is that the Pacers win game 1. Other than that, though,
that'll be fun too, because then everybody will be talking about like, could they
flip
do it
out.
again? Could they steal 2 games in
Pacers,
Oklahoma City?
They do it. They'll get one of those first 2 games, but gentlemen's sweep. I think the same thing we saw happen to Julius Randle in the Western Conference Finals is going to happen to Pascal Siakam. You go from a team that plays a little smaller. Towards the end of the series, you saw the Knicks playing. They started Mitchell Robinson and Cat. They found success with that bigger lineup to try to match up with Pascal and Miles Turner. But I think we're going to see Siakam go from MVP to being a lot less effective against a much bigger front court. Great defender in Chet Holmgren. That's going to throw off the whole balance of the team. And then the Thunder are probably going to take it from there. I think it'll be a bunch of exciting games. I don't think we'll see many blowouts, but I just think the Thunder have a little bit more than the Pacers, and we'll get it done.
Are you ready, Ryan?
Ready.
Jalen Williams, Lou Williams, William Brennan. Pacers in 5.
In 5?
5. Why not?
Wow. That's a hell of a claim,
Someone's
Jack.
got to be wrong, right? I mean, everyone thinks the Thunder are going to win, so they're not. That's just how it goes.
I will say there's something to be said about, it's like the old
Team of destiny.
Yeah, it's the old adage in like boxing and UFC is like the most dangerous opponent is the opponent with nothing to lose.
Yep.
And it's not that Indy has nothing to lose. Like I'm sure they don't want their whole season to be for naught, but they are definitely the big underdog going into this thing against Oklahoma City, who's been a buzzsaw all season in the regular season. They've yet to really have a big time test in the NBA playoffs. So there is something to be said about Indy being dangerous because everybody just expects OKC to win this thing.
I would say also outside of Kawhi's Raptors in 2019, that was maybe, or whenever that was, this Pacers team is probably one of the biggest dogs entering a finals since Rick Carlisle's Mavs team that won the finals.
This run, and if Tyrese Haliburton could continue to have this unreal thing where he just doesn't miss a clutch shot for some reason, it's just always going in, he would have a chance to have a possibly better run than Dirk did in 2011. That would be like comparable to me if he finds a way to pull this off. He's been insane.
Didn't he beat like Kobe, Russ, and KD?
People didn't even he beat Giannis, the team with the best record in the East, and then the Knicks, and then they're gonna beat the other team.
But then he beat the Heat too.
And it's up there though. I get it was Hall of Famers. Lakers were a little older, but people didn't even think that they were gonna get out of the first round. Like the Mavericks were contenders. Like people didn't see them beating Giannis and Dame.
Well, Rick Carlisle has been there, done that, Jack, as you said.
Same coach from both those runs too.
What matchups are you most looking forward to, or who needs to be the X factor on the Pacers and Knicks? Is it simply Tyrese Haliburton, SGA? Is it Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet versus Miles Turner on the glass? If Pascal Siakam can't get rebounds, is it going to be over?
The way that I view it is probably a little bit differently than it should be viewed. Is I feel like SGA and Haliburton, they're gonna do their thing and they're gonna get theirs. I'm interested to see Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein against Siakam and Turner, because that to me has been the story of the playoffs. Look at what Siakam and Turner were able to do to Mobley and Allen. Look at what Siakam and Turner were able to do to Karl Anthony Towns. They're in the Knicks series, and then Rob, you mentioned Julius Randle. They're in the Western Conference against Chet. I'm interested to see the bigs and how they match up in this thing.
That'll be huge, but
literally huge.
Yeah, the role guys though, the Pacers' one advantage could be the bench and the role players. So I mean, Nesmith versus J-Dub, Nembhard versus Lou Dort, those will be what the production you get from those players. But off the bench, I mean, Toppin, McConnell, Thomas Bryant have been huge factors. So I mean, if they're out playing guys like Isaiah Joe and the other Jalen Williams, that could be an advantage for the Pacers. So if the Pacers bench could really step up and you see Obi Toppin putting in like 20-point performances and you're still getting like 15 and 5 from TJ McConnell, that's how these games will be close.
That's where my head was at too. That's going to be probably those guys on the Pacers. Like you've found a way to get like Neesmith or Nembhard. Like one of them is like just going 6 for 8 from 3 every single night, and like that helps a lot, obviously. And that's why they end up. We come in here and talk about them shooting 45% from 3 every single time they have a ball game. Like if you get one of those two guys going every single night, they're gonna have a puncher's chance because they're gonna be able to catch up a little bit. Like that's the biggest thing is that when you play the Thunder, and we talk about it all the time with the Thunder, like they have these like 4 to 5 minute stretches where they look like the best basketball team you've seen in your whole entire life, and they can just go on these little avalanche type of runs. Like the Pacers need those guys to bang threes to have a chance to stay with them.
Tyrese is going to have a much rougher time this series, too. The whole matchup problem for them and the Knicks is that Jalen Brunson is just, a cone. And then he kind of has his way. Like, Bridges is a good defender, but that's like the one guy they really want to put on him because you need OG on Pascal because they were playing small. The guards can all defend on OKC. Even though they want to save Shai and they're going to probably put him on, like, Aaron Neesmith, if he switches on to Tyrese, he's still going to give a good defensive effort. Shai is still like a solid 6'6". Lou Dort, nobody's trying to go on that guy all series. He's going to be wearing Haliburton down. And, I mean, J-Dub is also a hound on defense. I mean, that's 3 dudes who are all going to switch. There's no hunting out there unless you're getting the big, but they usually scheme pretty well around that. And Chet's no slouch either. He can move his feet. He's got a very big wingspan. So Tyrese is going to have to work really, really hard, I think, for buckets in this series.
I will go Thunder in 6. I think all we can ask for is a competitive series.